So for the last couple weeks of class, we have a final exam and we also have a final project. And so the final project is not due until December 9th, and that is also when the showcase is due. And we'll take a look at the instructions. Um, the instructions are pretty broad because I wanted you to be able to kind of pick what you wanted to do. So you can create a brand new program for this, or you can take an existing program that you have and you can kind of retool it. So the requirements for this are you need a general purpose class with at least 5 public properties, a default constructor, a parameterized constructor, and at least 1 additional method. Okay, and you are going to put this class into its own file, and you are going to include that in your project. You're going to have a program in your project, program.cs, that uses your class. So in your program, you need either static methods or class methods that validate input data. So you can choose to create a add method that is part of the class, or you could do an add static method that is not part of the class. And you can add data in that method, and then you can validate the data as you're adding it, or you can create separate validation methods. It's totally up to you. I have seen projects that you guys have created, and they're doing it either way. Okay, so I'm leaving it up to you, but you do need to validate your data. As far as which technique you use, you should give it a little thought because you are going to have to explain why you chose the method that you chose. So if you chose to put it in the class, why did you do that? If you chose to leave it in program CS, why did you choose to leave it there? So you will be explaining that in your project showcase. Then you also need a menu or a loop that allows the user to continue, with the game or to continue processing. If it's not a game, you might display a menu where they can continue making choices until they choose to quit. Okay, so a menu or a loop. And again, you're going to explain why you chose the menu or the loop in your project showcase. And then you will need some type of method that is going to process data. So it can either be a class method, or you can use a static method in the program.cs file. Okay, and then again, this is a choice you're going to make that you're going to explain in your project showcase. And you do want to make sure the program runs without errors, but that is, in a nutshell, what you are going to be working on. So I went through a program I created earlier, my Battling Reindeer program, and I remade it. I basically took out all of the variables, put them into a race game class, and then I took pretty much all of the methods and I also put those into the class because I wanted the class to be able to be used by other people. And actually, it turned out pretty good. You can use this class and give it a few different pieces of data, and you have a game. So video kind of explains what I did if you are kind of at a loss of what to do for this. And I have seen some of your projects, and a lot of you already have created extra classes. So it shouldn't be too hard for you to retool and repurpose it for this project. And for those of you, that are first learning, I would not make this difficult. I would not make this tricky. Okay? I would make a class with 5 properties, a constructor, a parameterized constructor, and maybe a print method. Okay. And then, just keep it simple. Right. It does not have to be fancy. Okay. So that is the project and the showcase. So once you're done with the project, you are going to share it with your peers. And I did an example. I actually posted an example that you guys can look at. But the discussion basically has 2 parts. The first part is due on December 9th, and that is your post. In your post, you need to have 3 things. You need to have a video demonstration of your project. You need to discuss your design considerations, which I've outlined below. And you can discuss these in the video, or you can actually, type them right into your post. Okay, you can do it either way. So that's the second thing. You have to address the design considerations. And the third thing is you're going to be zipping your project and attaching it. And the reason I'm having you zip this one is because you're going to have 2 different program files in it. You're going to have your program.cs file, and you're also going to have a class file. So there are going to be 2 files. So we're just going to zip the project folder. And if you are not familiar with zipping, I did include support from Microsoft for the PC users and Apple support for the Mac users. Okay, so those are the 3 things that your post needs to include. And that is all due on December 9th. Then, once you make the post, and here's an example of mine. And so I did do the talking points that in the video. And I also created a second program, which you guys don't have to do. But I wanted to show you how the class that I created can be used in, multiple programs. So I created a different kind of race, not a reindeer race. This was a picnic 3-legged race in my second program. And it worked really well. So I did kind of demo that one in addition to the file that I kind of redid for this project. Okay, so those are all in the video link. And I had to link this out because the video got too long and too big for Canvas to handle. So if that does happen to you, you can include your zipped project and you can put your video right inside the project. I did not do that. This is just my zipped project, but I have a video up here at the top that shows you how to do that. Okay, so if you have a problem with your video being too big, you can zip your term project and you literally can just drag the video right inside. Okay, and then you can attach that to your post. Okay, so that is all part 1, getting everything posted. Part 2, I think, is going to be the easy part. So for the rest of the week, you only need to review 2 of your peers' projects. So you're going to take a look at the projects, find 2 that you like, and post a review. In the review, you need to indicate what you liked about the project and the class that they created, how you think other developers might utilize that class in their own applications, and any additional features that you think might be neat that you would like to see them include in the next version of their class or game or whatever it is that they've posted. So that is part 2. And the only other thing that we have is the final exam. And the final exam is open book, open note. It's worth 100 points, and there are 60 questions. And what I have tried to do, and I can't test this, but I did turn on a setting that lets you build on your previous effort. And what it is supposed to do is only show you the questions that you miss, and then you can focus on getting those questions right. So each time you retake the test, you will see what you missed, and then you will answer those questions only. So it'll keep your correct score, and it will add to it. That is what it's supposed to do. I have not been able to test it because I don't have a student account. Okay, so, but this is not due until the 13th. And I will actually activate it this evening. So you can take it anytime, and you can take it as often as you like. If you run across a question and you don't understand the question, then let me know and pop in during live stream or whatever. You can show it to me and I can help you out. Okay, so that is what we have going on for the last 2 weeks. I did include the grading scale here. And keep in mind that not everything has been corrected. So at the end of the semester, we will have 1,000 points. Okay. And until everything is corrected, you're not going to see that many. But this at least gives you kind of a gauge so that you can tell how you're doing, because your points are, your grade is based on total points. So this comes right out of the syllabus, and this is how the points break down. Okay, so again, not everything has been corrected. Not everything has even been due. So you really aren't going to see all your points until you are done with the final exam and I have graded your final project. If you are looking for extra credit, you can do the test of everyday reasoning with numeracy. That login information was emailed to you. If you can't find it, let me know. Just throw me an email and I can forward it to you. But I'm giving you 20 points extra credit for doing that. So once you take that test, if you go into modules and you go up to the top, there is a drop box up here. Okay, and all you need to do is go into the drop box and submit the word done. And I will see that the next time I correct, and I will give you the 20 points. Okay, so if you guys have any questions at all, let me know. And I hope you guys are enjoying the class. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. And again, let me know if you have any questions.